Imagine drinking a smoothie made of mud, dead organisms, and sulfur. Disgusting, right? Now imagine that same sludge, after a little heat, pressure, and chemistry, becoming the jet fuel launching you to Tokyo, the asphalt under your morning run, and the plastic casing keeping your phone alive. That's not science fiction. And it all starts with something called crude oil refining. Let's rewind. 1859, Titusville, Pennsylvania. A former railroad worker named Edwin Drake hammers a pipe into the earth and strikes something dark and smelly. Nobody throws a party. At the time, people just wanted better lamp oil, kerosene, something brighter than whale blubber and cheaper than candles. The rest of the crude? Tossed aside. Waste. Then Henry Ford came along and ruined everything in the best possible way. When the Model T hit the roads in 1908, gasoline went from an afterthought to the most wanted substance on Earth. Refiners scrambled. Engineers improvised. And almost overnight, a cottage industry became one of the most complex industrial systems humanity has ever built. Here's the thing about crude oil, it's not one thing. It's a cocktail of hundreds of different hydrocarbon molecules, some featherlight, some thick as tar. And each one wants to escape at a different temperature. So refiners exploit that. They blast crude oil through a furnace, heating it past 350 degrees Celsius until most of it vaporizes. Then they shoot that vapor into a tower, sometimes taller than a 10-story building, called a distillation column. Inside, something elegant happens. As the vapor rises, it cools. Heavy molecules get tired early and condense near the bottom. Lighter ones climb higher before they settle. Each floor of the tower catches a different product. From bottom to top, asphalt, diesel, jet fuel, kerosene, gasoline, and at the very top, gases like propane and butane. Think of it like a sorting hat for molecules, except instead of Hogwarts houses, they're sorted into the things that power your world. But here's the problem. Nature didn't read the memo about our obsession with gasoline. Crude oil skews heavy. Too many big, clunky molecules. Not enough of the light stuff we actually want. So engineers do something almost violent. They crack them. Fluid catalytic cracking, or FCC, is the rock star of the refinery. Heavy oil gets blasted with a superheated catalyst powder that shatters long hydrocarbon chains like snapping a log over your knee. Suddenly, one heavy molecule becomes several lighter, more useful ones. More gasoline, more jet fuel, more value. Hydrocracking takes it further, adding hydrogen under extreme pressure to not just break molecules, but clean them, stripping out sulfur and other troublemakers in the process. Without cracking, the world's roads will be very quiet. Some fractions come out of distillation technically usable, but basically mediocre. Enter catalytic reforming, the refinery's personal stylist. Instead of breaking molecules, reforming reshapes them. Straight, boring hydrocarbon chains get twisted into rings and branches, structures that burn smoother, resist engine knock, and earn a higher octane rating. High octane isn't just a marketing buzzword. It's what lets a modern engine run at peak efficiency without self-destructing. And as a bonus, the reforming process spits out hydrogen, which gets recycled right back into the refinery for other jobs. Nothing goes to waste. Here's a dirty secret: crude oil carries sulfur. Lots of it. When burned, sulfur becomes sulfur dioxide, a nasty pollutant responsible for acid rain and respiratory damage. Before any fuel leaves the refinery gates, it gets scrubbed. In hydrotreating units, hydrogen is fired at sulfur compounds, converting them into hydrogen sulfide gas, which is then captured and removed. Today, regulations in most countries cap sulfur in diesel at just 10 to 15 parts per million. That's roughly equivalent to a single drop of water in a bathtub. The precision required is extraordinary. Now here's where it gets surprisingly culinary. Gasoline isn't a single liquid. It's a recipe, a precisely engineered blend of cracked streams, reformed streams, alkylate, and additives. Refiners tweak the formula based on season. Summer gas evaporates differently than winter gas, regional regulations, and performance standards. Distillation gives you the ingredients. Cracking and reforming prepare them. Blending is the final dish. And just like a great chef, a skilled refinery operator knows that the details make all the difference. And what about the stuff that can't be upgraded? The absolute heaviest residue? Even that doesn't go to waste. It gets processed into petroleum coke, a solid fuel used in industrial furnaces, or becomes the asphalt baking under your tires on the highway. The very bottom of the barrel literally holds the road you drive on. A modern refinery runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, processing hundreds of thousands of barrels daily. It's a living machine, equal parts chemistry lab, physics experiment, and industrial art form. But strip away the complexity, and the logic is almost poetic. Separate what's there. Break what's too big. Reshape what's inefficient. Clean what's dirty. Blend it into something the world can actually use. That dark, foul-smelling liquid pulled from the earth? It took millions of years to form and about 72 hours to become the fuel in your tank, the runway your flight lands on, and the road your morning commute follows. Crude oil refining isn't just chemistry. It's civilization distilled. Thanks for watching the logic of simple things. Drop your suggestions in the comments. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next story hiding in plain sight.